Hello everybody and welcome to Cfcfan TV. Now I'm lucky enough to be joined by the boys from Social Club. How are you all?
Very good. How are you?
Good.
Cheers.
Privileged to have them on, aren't they wonderful? Yeah. And yeah, we're just going to talk about why we do fan channels and why they're so important, especially recently, I suppose. And everything's sort of getting more popular as it goes on. And yeah, you can start, darling. You're a Tottenham fan, unfortunately. But
yeah, like no one agreed. I didn't realise that this was happening for the record. That I was going to be
ambushed.
I've been ambushed, but yeah. Look, I think that fans have been creating media for a long, long time. You know, since the 50s, 60s, 70s, there were fanzines coming out. Fan media isn't a new thing, but fan media has come to the fore because technology is cheaper. We're all able to pick up cameras now. We're all able to record podcasts.
When was the last time you picked up a camera?
Well, I don't actually like being in front of cameras or behind them. I've been ambushed into this job as well. But
I didn't employ you. Don't look at me.
Your fault, James. I just came to build a website. Right? Yeah, that's an in-joke. Sorry. So it's become important that fans have an opinion because our opinions they may not be as valid as a manager's when talking about tactics, but they're relevant in terms of the cultures around football. We can talk about things in a way that pundits can't.
yeah.
I can say I fucking hated Arsenal at the week. Sorry, can you swear on here?
Yeah, you can swear, yes, cool.
I hate
As long as you're
Arsenal.
not swearing at the viewers, it's all good.
At the weekend, and you know, Gary Mabbott of Tottenham can't say he fucking hates Arsenal, but I can. I can say
you can say it all.
I hate Chelsea as well.
No, it all stemmed from.
Sorry.
Cuts.
Yeah.
Come on, cuts. No, wait, one of the main reasons we do it, and me and Rory discuss it all the time, is that in this day and age, I feel that there's such a disconnect between fans and not just players, but just football clubs in general. I think football has become, unfortunately for me, I see it as much more of a business, and it would just be lovely if there was actually more of a balance now, because it's just become, especially with Arsenal, I think, unfortunately, I see their club as much more of a business than a team a club that want to win trophies. And it's just nice that we actually give fans a voice and we bring it back to sort of just normal, warm-hearted, you know, fun, and we all have a laugh. And we do the vlogs because we love giving viewers the matchday experience. Fans that don't get to go from all around the world, even in England. So sometimes it's a massive day out, isn't it? It's a trip up to the bridge or wherever they're going.
Huge expense as well.
Well, I think that's part of the business side of it, is the fact that the ticket prices are so high now. And that does play a part. You know, if you haven't got the money, then you can't go. It's as simple as that. And it didn't used to be like that. Paul, you were the first man on the moon.
We invented fan channels.
The first man to do it. Yeah, to do all this. Have you seen it change?
Well, the thing that kicked it off is kind of everything you've said, all that stuff. But I'm so bored of football being treated as this, it's the most serious thing that's ever happened. Footy's meant to be, you're meant to get enjoyment out of it. And I know, let's be honest, the balance of enjoyment to just stress and heartache is actually, you know, it doesn't balance out, but that's what you're in it for. You're in it for those moments of glory and joy, and those moments of turning around and hugging random strangers and jumping up and down. And, you know, growing up in the 90s, we used to watch football content, and it was fantasy football and it was soccer AM. But the point is, ultimately, the football content and the way football's covered has become really dull and really boring, and it's not my experience of it. My experience of it is enjoying watching the footy, it's having a laugh with your mates, and it's like Flav says as well, it's like it's calling a spade about footy, and that was where all of the fan channel stuff originated.
Yeah, from. I think for me actually, I was in probably, I don't know when this was, I think it was towards the end of last season maybe, and a guy came in to the ground in the shed upper and was playing a trumpet to the Blue is the Colour song. It was a really really tiny, and the steward tried to kick him out and told him to stop playing it, and we were like, right, come on guys, we can't.
So we're back on the steward in this one?
We can't stand. No, we can't stand up. We can't do anything. But it was sort of
just
like,
and
I'm talking 40, 50-year-old grown, muscly men were getting up and going mental just because this guy couldn't play his trumpet, chanting for him, saying what a great guy was. But it's because it takes all the fun out of it, and at least with fan channels, You get to say whatever you want, do whatever you want within reason, as long as it's not too rude, and have a great day, have a great time at the games.
Yeah.
It sounds like the plot of like a French art house movie, that isn't it? Like the old man with the small trumpet who's not allowed to play.
It was very upsetting, I have to say.
But that story, those little kind of examples of what goes on at a football match is, and for good reason, the mainstream are not going to be interested in. But I was interested in that, despite it being Chelsea. You know, the fact is there are these little things that happen, that amazing little moments that aren't told anywhere, except that once in fanzines, now on YouTube and through podcasts. I started the Fighting Cock podcast because I don't have a fan channel, but do a podcast, and that was. The most interesting conversations I was having around football was in the pub after the game, when everyone had a few beers and everyone was just let themselves go a little bit. It was all I wanted to do was capture that again, because I couldn't hear it anywhere else, and then just stick it on front of record it and see what happens. And you know, as
one of the weirdest things for us as well with the old channel, we did an interview with JT, and great moment for me, and you know, it's nice to meet one of my favourite players. But in terms of views, it definitely did well, but it didn't do as well as some of the other videos, which were just purely fans talking God knows what. Yeah. And it says a lot that basically all people want to see.
It's really boring.
No, not just HAT, but you know, in general, like people just want to hear from the fans.
No, it's definitely not.
You know, so.
I don't know if you've had experience of this. It might be different for you, but on Ball Street, when we've had pros and ex-pros, the actual, as you say, the views, the engagement, it's nowhere near what it is, what people come to.
It's because, well, for a start, people are trained to think that all footballer interviews are boring, because most of them are.
Yeah, straight back.
It takes a lot to get something out of a footballer. So you see that and you don't think, oh, and also because they're everywhere, really, aren't they? The access is limited, but it's not. And yet, because there's so many interviews with these people left, right, and centre. It's about finding a way to get the personality out and showing the personalities there. The only footballer video that we've done that's ever had any real success is when we did Dizzy Pens with Coutinho and Sterling, and Coutinho fell flat on his face after 3 turns. You know, and that did the big numbers. But by and large, you know, you're right. It's weird, and I'm sure it would give some people a very big head if they were to look at the numbers and that kind of thing. Not me. But you know, it's astounding. But it's true. Is that people just want to hear people who genuinely care about the clubs talk about the clubs, and that's what's lacking from football.
Go on.
And just going back to your point a little while back about the seriousness and lack of personality that mainstream media sometimes has. That's something I think we're really big on with Ball Street, is that can we please make sure that we don't take ourselves too seriously? Can it be self-deprecating? And can it have a bit of actual real personality instead of just being overly serious? Because there's always another season. It always carries on, but it also matters as well.
Well, I think the bottom line is that fan channels sort of almost give you a glimmer of what it was like back in the old days, before there was all these rules and regulations. And of course we need that now, but it would just be nice to have a balance. Just be nice to have both.
We get that. We went over in the States for the last two Liverpool tours, and I've had kids in the teens going, and who I'd expect to some extent, because YouTube's you'd expect a younger audience come up to me and saying hello. But then you've got guys who are in the 50s and 60s who've lived in America for 20 years or 30 years, and they're going, you're like my connection to back home. And you know, and we never started out for it to be that. It started out as a couple of mates talking about football, but it's incredible that it's got the power to do that.
We get quite a lot of people tweeting in, especially for me anyway, I get a lot of people tweeting in saying, you've reconnected me to my childhood club, and people from all over the world. Rory just went to New York and went to the Football Factory over there with loads of Chelsea supporters, and they absolutely loved that. And it's just having a connection between everyone, and just, like I say, keeping the fun in football.
That's why I started the podcast, to reconnect Tottenham fans with the club. That was my aim. It was to reconnect Tottenham fans all around the world.
It's the chat about Spurs.
Are you being sarcastic?
I was hammered when I stood up. When I came up with the idea, I was saying something like, should we do a podcast?
Well, on that note, we'll leave it there. Thanks, guys, for coming on. What's your app?
It's at Ball Street.
Sorry.
More importantly,
I was thinking, we don't have an app.
Come over to the Ball Street channel, youtube.com/Ball Street. There's other episodes of Social Club.
He's not going to talk about Tottenham too much, don't worry.
We just talked about
Chelsea need
how Chelsea can improve, given the fact that they're probably going to win the league.
Well, I'm afraid we have many trophies, which you do not. Anyway, thanks everybody for watching. Comment below if you like this video.
Why not dig them out as well?
Because we've won 5 European Cups and 18 leagues, man. You can't take me out.
Okay, this could go on for quite a while. Yeah, comment below, guys. Let us know why you love watching our fan channels, and we will see you all super soon. Go on, you Blues.